Well, our next guest is here and is a major game player in the female entrepreneur game. She is the founder of the Ad Girls, and that should tell you that she is a mega superstar at helping entrepreneurs learn how to run ads, and she also runs ads for them. She has created over $100 million in revenue for female entrepreneurs, which in and of itself is just wow. And she's an expert in creating profitable Instagram ads. And she's the secret strategist behind many of the brands that you know and love in the female entrepreneur space. And so without further ado, Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. That was such a good intro. Can you follow me everywhere and just do that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
anytime. Well, I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit about you so people get some intro. Let's
go. So I own the Ad Girls agency. We are an all-female Facebook and Instagram advertising agency. I've been doing this for about 11 years. I am a true ads nerd. And we just get to create really amazing things for women. Our mission is putting more money in the hands of more women. We happen to use ads to do that, but it's really about that financial empowerment piece.
Wow. Now, how did you become the Instagram and Facebook ads girl? How did this happen?
I mean, honestly, the whole purpose of the business that I have today was created based on a not great experience that I had earlier on in my life. I was in a really dangerous and physically abusive relationship in my early 20s. And I was really lucky. I got out and was able to move on with my life.
Wow.
But part of that process for me was getting involved in advocacy work. It was the way that I wanted to heal. And in the process of that, I was really faced with how often women who have been in that same situation were not as lucky as me to be able to get out because of money. That actually financial abuse is present in 99% of domestic violence situations. And we all know the stats about how many women experience that in their lifetime. So money is literally the thing that is sometimes life or death for women. And when that became clear to me, and I had this marketing skill, there was no way that I wasn't going to say, okay, I'm going to be the difference maker here. I'm going to build something that's all about putting more money in the hands of more women so that they're never beholden to anything. Yes, a terrible relationship, but a job they don't like, a city they don't want to live in, anything. We're not doing that,
And how does ads empower them? Instagram ads, Facebook ads.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, when I think about ads, it's about having a system for being in control of your own growth, in control of your own life. There's all types of marketing out there. I'm never going to knock any of them. I mean, they all have their place, but something that ads provides is predictable scalability. Once you have the system, you can turn the dial up or down. And instead of saying, all right, I'm going to post something on Instagram and maybe it will net something, you have more or less a predictable system that says every time I spend X, I make Y. And so if I want more time with my family this month, if I want to travel, if I want to go to Italy, that's where I love to go. Yeah. There's a proven system that will keep my business running for me. And again, that is control and it's also freedom.
Okay. So that brings us to the question, what about the people who are saying that ads don't work?
It's such an interesting conversation, right? Because there are people who are high quality leads aren't on Instagram. And I'm like, but aren't you the person hanging out on Instagram? Let's really unpack that, right?
Right.
Now, there are certain strategies that make it easier to make sure you're getting in front of the right people. But the reality is the pure numbers tell us that the world is on Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. We can't argue with that fact. And so if we know that that's where the masses are and that's where just, the majority of the world is, and there's a good chance that your target market is there, then it isn't ads working or not working. It's how effective your ad strategy is, specifically your messaging at calling out to the right people. So often when people talk about ads didn't work for me. Mm-hmm. It's that their messaging and positioning wasn't designed to attract a high caliber client and be able to convert totally cold traffic. And it's also usually because they were looking at ads in a silo. Look, ads is just spending money to get in front of more people. If you get in front of more people and the system behind the ads isn't able to turn those people into clients, buyers, you've got to look at the system and understand all the data that is telling you where you have gaps or drop-off points or opportunity zones, and you have to methodically go and close those gaps. That's what we're doing for all of our clients every day.
Okay. Now, what entrepreneurs are the type that are the clients that you're looking for? What do they do?
Yes. So we work primarily with female coaches and course creators, kind of a wide range in terms of what industries that they're in, but really anybody who is selling information or transformation on the internet. We've got a lot of clients with courses, a lot of low ticket offers these days, and then plenty of high ticket coaching offers as well.
Now, walk us through the funnels. So now they could be dialed in on the ads, as you said, but if the other part is not working well, then we've got nothing.
Yes.
So what's the best funnel right now?
I don't know if there's like one best funnel, because the truth of the matter is, across the 40 to 45 clients we're working with right now, anything I answer right now, I could find proof of the opposite. However, what I will say is that I'm super into they call them like SLO funnels right now, self-liquidating offers or low ticket funnels,
Okay.
For a variety of reasons. But really what that allows you to do is, instead of running ads to build your list with people who haven't paid you anything, right? You're building a list and then you end up with a lot of leads and you're like, no one's really buying for me. Your strategy from the beginning with this type of funnel is that you are going and looking for buyers from day one. So it actually helps Meta do a better job of finding the right people. So it's the difference between the algorithm working with you versus against you, which is a game changer in and of itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also you're able to self-liquidate your ad spend. You're able to immediately have a financial transaction that occurs. And if you structure that funnel properly with the right bumps and upsells and one-time offers, you actually can have profitability in that initial transaction all by itself. And then it's just like the cherry on top if you have something bigger or higher ticket to sell them into down the line, but you don't need that for profitability.
Now, for the people who are watching now and thinking, well, this sounds great, but I don't have the perfect copy, I don't have the funnel in order, how can your agency help them?
We do everything. And I've been told by so many business coaches over the years, like, if you guys are going to do everything, you have to charge more. And I'm like, look, I don't want to. I don't want to have a half service where I'm only running ads and I'm not able to actually help people with the things that I know they need in order to make ads work. So we do everything fully done for you. It's all of the copy. It's all of the creative. It's all of the funnel copy. It's even down to the offers. I mean, just going back to the low ticket offer funnel we were just talking about, a lot of people come in and they've got, the big $1,000, $2,000 course, which I find is a little bit harder to sell these days. There's exceptions to every rule, but I do find that those are the most challenging. And we're saying, okay, let's actually go take a look at the content that you already have and let's rethink about how we can reshape these offers. And instead of the one big $1,000 course, we're going to break it out into smaller little digestible. Here's the 47. This is the 97. So we're thinking through every single component that is necessary in order to be able to use ads as that predictable, scalable system that everybody wants.
Okay. So give me the tea, because you're the expert. When does a business know that they're ready for ads? What are the signs?
Yeah. This is such an interesting conversation because I think that there's a lot of noise in the space saying that you need to have your systems and your organic perfectly dialed in before you're ready for ads. Now, I understand where that conversation comes from. It's not that I'm like, well, it's just terrible, but let's really break down what's going on there, because your organic audience is always going to behave differently than your cold traffic ads audience. So what ends up happening, what I see in practicality, is that businesses wait. They're like, I have to wait until I'm at this perfect moment where everything is so dialed in that ads will be a sure thing. That moment doesn't exist. And so what ends up happening is that I find that these business owners end up delaying their own growth because they're waiting for this perfect moment. And the truth of the matter is, no matter how perfect your organic is, when you step into ads for the first time, you're still going to have to go through the process we take all of our clients through of figuring out how to get cold traffic to specifically convert for your business. So if that's the starting point all of the time, no matter what, why wait?
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That'll make a lot of people think for a moment about, well, maybe ads are for me now.
Yes. And look, obviously, it is the difference between before you're doing ads, you're doing a lot of testing and figuring out what works, usually with your time as the main currency. Again, nothing wrong with that. Everybody's going to have a phase of business in which that is the currency that they have available to get things working. But at any point in time, you can decide the currency I'd rather play with is money. It is going to not necessarily be, okay, turn on ads, I'm a millionaire by tomorrow. Right. But it's just you're playing with a different currency, which is the right fit for you. And I just don't necessarily believe that there's such a thing as being too early, as long as you have clarity on the transformation that you provide. If you know and can confidently speak about, this is my offer, this is the result that it creates, this is my unique methodology, then we can build the ad systems around it.
Okay. Now, I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they were saying that, well, the algorithms are changing on Instagram and Facebook, so maybe you want to hold off on ads, and you just spoke to not holding off on ads. Yeah. Tell me about how the algorithm affects the ads.
The algorithm is always changing. So I've been doing this. We're a little bit past my 11-year anniversary, actually, of being an entrepreneur. Thank you so much. And running this business on my own. And so I have been through like 50,000 iterations of, this is the end. Mm-hmm. This is the end of Meta ads. Its businesses are never going to be able to recover from this. Like it happens every 6 months. It happened with the iOS 14 updates that happened to be released on my birthday in 2021, which was not a fun birthday present at all. But we navigated. And look, yes, there are changes. Every day you wake up and the Meta algorithm is different. The back end of the platform looks different. You're like, where is this feature? Or when did this feature appear? Those things are true. It's not that they're not, but we don't operate as though we are like beholden to Meta. Because if you think about it, what I've been talking about is that the things that make ads work are the right offer, the right positioning, the right price points, the right messaging. And advertising has worked since the literal dawn of time.
Right.
And so if the whole world is on Meta and we've got those foundational pieces into play, yes, there may be an algorithm change and it's a little bumpy for a second as we recalibrate, but I don't like to give too much energy to that,
Well, and as a business owner, we can control the things that we can control.
Exactly.
And we can't control the things that we can't control.
Exactly, right? And so it's like, again, am I going to sit and be beholden to like, oh no, Mark Zuckerberg did this thing? Or am I going to say, cool, what is in front of me? What do I know to be true about my marketing, my messaging, my funnel? Mm-hmm. And how do I navigate and adjust? With the most recent algorithm update, look, Meta talks about it in a way where it's designed to confuse you and overwhelm you. And so do a lot of the experts.
Right.
Let's make it plain and simple. The latest algorithm really is demanding more creative variation. That's it. You just need to think through, instead of testing maybe 3 creatives at a time, you might do 15. Okay. So it's just spending more time on the front end, thinking through different buyers and where they might be in their journey and the different messaging that they may need. But the truth is, I feel like we've kind of been doing that all of the time anyway. So you have to be careful what you listen to. And I think just, some people love to get really swept up in being outraged about, how this thing is going to be harder than it is. And I'm not interested in putting my energy in that direction.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about the success stories that ad girls have had. $100 million.
Yes. And maybe even more. To be honest with you, it's hard to keep track because, every once in a while we have a client who, has an $11 million launch. And it's well, okay, that just went up by quite a bit. I'll tell you one of my favorites right now. We have a client who sells a $297 course. And one of the reasons why I love this case study so much is that people will say, well, that's not enough. You have to have other stuff behind it.
Right.
After the course, you have to do coaching and one-on-one in order to make this profitable. This client doesn't want to do that. She wants to make passive income on her amazing $297 course.
Whoa.
And so at this point, we've been able to scale her. She came in spending, I think, about $10,000 a month on ads. And we were able to get her to a place in which she was getting a 3 times return on ad spend. So essentially spending 10 and making 30, which is great, especially since it's 100% passive. Now, at the end of the day, if you really want ads to be a $1 million revenue stream for you, we've got to then turn the dial up, spend more. Some people get really hooked on I want the sexy 8x return on ad spend, the sexy 10x return on ad spend. That's probably not going to happen with the 297 course. That's not good or bad. It's just the trade-off of lower price point, so slower ROAS, but 100% passive. It takes her nothing to deliver.
Right.
So it's super scalable and we can simply turn the dial up. So now she's at the point where she's spending about $50,000 a month on ads and making between $130,000 to $150,000 from a $297 course. It's like 16 to 20 courses selling every single day on autopilot. She doesn't do anything. It's very cool.
Wow. And that's the dream, right?
That's exactly the dream. Yes.
Okay. So now you got to give me a sexy story about people who are having launches and they're doing more of a traditional coaching style.
Yes.
One-to-many, one-to-one, whatever. Let's hear it.
We had a client earlier this year do a paid live launch. And that's something that I'm really into right now. It's kind of the same conversation about the low ticket self-liquidating offers. It's just often better to bring in buyers from the beginning. So this particular client did a $47 2-day workshop earlier in the year.
Okay.
And so what we were able to do is every time we spent about $75, somebody paid the 47. So there is a little bit of a loss on the front end, but again, that was never the point. The point was that we'd be able to fill the room of the live launch with buyers, with people who are far enough along in the process of solving the problem that this specific client solved that they were willing to take out their credit card. And so what ended up happening is that with about $9,000 in ad spend, we were able to get, I forget the exact numbers, maybe like 75 or 100 people into the room. And then ultimately from that, the conversion rate of the room into a $5,000 offer was almost 40%. Now you're never going to see that if you're running ads to a free live event, right? With free, and it's not even that free is always bad. We have some clients who still do that, but it's different because you're going to get more volume, but you're going to have a much lower show up rate and usually a lower close rate. So in this case, because we were able to bring the right people in and have such a high close rate, the overall numbers are spending $9,000 on ads. The client had a $215,000 launch. So I can't even quickly tell you the ROI on that because the numbers are too high. I don't even.
Wow.
It was a lot.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see it all the time. People who buy, and
Yes.
people who don't.
Yeah. And they love to stay stuck for literally ever.
Right. So this funnel of having the paid live event,
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. And just in general, not that it always has to be paid, but thinking about making sure that you're not treating your ads as an opening of the floodgates. You don't want any and everybody in your space.
Right.
That's not good for your energy. That's not good for your email list. That's not good for anything. The ads that I run to get clients for the agency is a funnel that is direct to booking a call. So it's different. Nobody's paying for anything up front. However, when people go through that funnel, I'm not collecting their information to have just them be like a lead on my list. I don't care. A little bit of the energy of my ads is like, this is what we do and this is what it costs. Take it or leave it. If it's not right for you right now, then don't book this call. Love you, but like, don't book the call. And so there's a lot of deterrers, if you will, built in to say, hold on, are you sure you're ready for this? Are you ready to make this investment? So that when people do end up getting on my calendar, they are perfectly price qualified. Different funnel, but same thought process of making sure that we are clear about who this is for and who it is not. And making people, I don't know if it's jumping through hoops, but like having them do a little bit of work beyond just name, email, to really make sure you're bringing the right people in.
Okay. Now, what are you predicting as a Facebook or Instagram ad trend in the upcoming year?
I don't like paying attention to Facebook and Instagram ad trends because at the end of the day, look, there are ebbs and flows. Like one of the things that worked really well this year is a style of creative I'm sure everybody's seen, which is like mostly just text. Mm-hmm. White background, black text, black background, white text, right? But again, does that mean that that is the thing you should do all of the time, no matter what, and let go of testing because that's a thing that you heard from an expert? No. So the thing that's going to work always is knowing your messaging, knowing your positioning, doing the right testing, collecting the data, responding to the data, and that's going to always be true forever and ever.
Yeah, until the end of time,
Essentially, yes.
The end of time. So for anyone now who's interested potentially in learning more about your work.
Yes.
Tell us who you're calling in. Who do you want to work with? What are some of the qualifiers? Who do you want?
Yeah. I mean, again, we are looking for women specifically who are in the coaching or courses space. We really love working with people who are, again, clear on their transformation and their methodology, but need a little bit of support thinking about how to put it all together. Obviously, so many entrepreneurs, when you're like inside, it's hard to read the description when you're like inside the bottle, right?
Exactly.
That's like that saying that they say. So we find that we get to come in and say, interesting, like bullet point number 87 on your sales page is actually the thing. This is the cool thing. So somebody who's open to letting us do some of that zhuzhing, if you will, not ever at the expense of the client being the expert and the visionary, because that has to be there all of the time, but being willing to let us say, what if we talked about it like this? What if we brought this thing to the forefront? Because at the end of the day, it's all just a test and we let the data speak for itself. And so those types of humans are really great partners for us.
This is fantastic. Now, where do they go to find out more information?
We are at theadgirls.com. Very easy. You'll
easy.
see all the information on our agency, the clients that we've worked with. And the next step, if anybody is ever interested in working with us, is you'd book a call with me directly and we'll just have like a super chill, no pressure chat and explore what's possible for you.
Well, this is incredible. This was such a great conversation. I mean, you were talking to the ads queen herself for female entrepreneurs. And so that's quite a treat. Well, I want to thank you for being with us.
This
we
was
learned
so fun.
a lot.
Amazing. I love it.
Well, thanks so much. We'll see you later.
All right. See ya.
Well, on today's episode, we have a very interesting guest with a unique background. And if you happen to be a business owner or entrepreneur, you are in for quite a treat. So let me give you the intro. It's quite the intro. So she is a she's a former professional tennis player. And she also worked at the New York Stock Exchange and was one of only 20 women on the floor, which is quite an incredible feat. And so she's built her entire life again and again and reinvented herself, even after having a very profound loss. And then she took these skills and decided to teach others, especially entrepreneurs, how they can navigate changes in their business and reinvent themselves time and time again so that they can have a reinvention in their revenue. So this is quite an interesting guest. Welcome, Carol. We are thrilled to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you can. Tell us a little bit about kind of your background and what you're doing now. And then we've got plenty of questions to ask.
Well, I've always worked under pressure. You know, I've always had jobs where I'm one of the few females in a male-dominated industry. And so, you know, working under pressure it was either walking out onto the tennis court or walking onto the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, you know, and I really learned a lot in those experiences. And I think I learned something that they never teach entrepreneurs. And that is that you can have all the coaches, the strategies, the money, but if you lose your internal capacity, that everything stalls, nothing flows.
Wow, exactly. And so how did you start putting these two things together, your past experiences and entrepreneurship? Like, how did you learn that the lessons from all of these previous experiences would translate into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I rebuilt myself step by step. And along the way, I learned a lot of lessons. And now I am really excited that I have this program that I teach founders to reclaim their capacity, rebuild their momentum, and reignite their revenue.
Oh, I love it. So for anyone that's watching that's wondering, well, what do we mean by, rebuilding their capacity? What does this look like? in tangible terms? Like, what does it mean?
Well, when your energy dips, your launches dip, when your clarity drops, your business kind of like it just doesn't go anywhere. And if you're carrying around all of this like emotional overload,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't make any decisions, and money doesn't really know hustle. It
Right.
knows frequency. So it does respond to revenue responds to the founder. So
Mm.
that's why it's important to get, your flow back.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so let's talk. If we've got an entrepreneur who is doing webinars and launches, or we've got an entrepreneur who is trying to land premium clients and the revenue is like up and down, tell us what you're attributing this to. Like, what's the secret sauce for them unlocking this?
So it's a 60-day. It's called the
Revenue.
Reinvention
Yeah.
Program. And there's 3 parts to it. The first is we do the internal part, and where we reclaim your clarity
Mm-hmm.
and and work on your new identity.
Right.
And then we go into the business momentum and the speed of like your decision making,
Okay.
because that's really important, because that's slowed down. And then we turn that all into revenue. So
Wow.
you're going to have better launches, you're going to increase your sales,
Nice.
and your business is going to like be reignited again.
Okay, so talk to us about who this program is for, who this framework works for. So let's say there are 3 different types of entrepreneurs that you work with. Talk to us about this. So if we've got a plateaued founder, they can't get an increase in revenue no matter how many coaches or courses they're taking.
Mhm.
Will this work for them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what about women who are in transition, or entrepreneurs in general that are in transition? How does this work for them? Maybe they're jumping into a new business model. How would this kind of help them start unlocking revenue in a new business?
Well, all of those identities, they really want the same thing. They're all reinventing themselves. One might be reinventing themselves like through their business. One might need a new identity, and someone might be reinventing like their entire life.
Mm.
And ultimately, they all want the same thing. They want more money, more clarity, more power, and they want their business to be reignited, and they want it fast. They don't want to wait around, because money is time. I mean, time is money.
Yeah.
And so if their business has been stalling for several months, they want to change, and they want it to happen fast. And that's what I do. Like a lot of them can't figure out, like they think it's their strategy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. But that's my special gift, is that I can look and see what the issue is, what the internal issue is, and then things can change really fast.
Wow. And so I think that's one of the things that makes the revenue reinvention so interesting. Like lots of entrepreneurs are on these 6-month courses and they've got this 1-year mentorship, and meanwhile, no money's being made.
Right.
And for entrepreneurs, that's one of the, cruxes of what we do when money has to be made. And so when they join you, tell me what can happen in 30 days. So they join Revenue Reinvention in 30 days. What sort of tangible results can we see in their business? Are we unlocking money, or do we have more clarity? You tell me, what do we get?
Yeah, a lot of things. First of all, they get their spark back. So they're really excited. They show up with passion again for their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that translates to they're, increasing their prices, and they're increasing them with confidence.
Ooh.
And their launches are really converting now. Like people don't only sign up, but they actually show up, and then they sign up for their programs, and they pay in full. They're not asking for like a 12-month payment program
Wonderful.
or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. And that's in 30 days.
Yes.
So then let's fast forward and we say in 60 days, at the end of their time with you, what are we getting? What are we seeing happening in a 60-day time frame? Are these things now stabilized? Because usually, entrepreneurs are in this up and down, feast and famine. So now that happened in the first 30 days. What are we getting in 60 days?
Well, it's just going to continue to grow even more. And because with the more confidence you have and the more clarity, the more momentum, and your business being reignited, it's just going to build upon. Each month it's just going to get stronger and stronger. And things can happen really fast because a lot of times when you have an internal issue, you go to a therapist or you sign up for more seminars or you start reading more self-help books. And that can take time. You can be with a therapist for like 6 months to a year, and all of that's good. I'm not, I don't have any issues against that. But if you're an entrepreneur, you want your revenue now. And you don't want to wait 6 months, because you've got all the bills coming in. You have a lot of expenses to pay. So you want a shift to happen quickly. And that's what we do.
And that leads me to my next question. A lot of people here are thinking, well, is the revenue reinvention going to be another course? Is it going to be about having another funnel? And what is it that's unique about how you're implementing things inside revenue reinvention that allows things to happen quickly? Is this customized to each person? Talk to me about this.
Yeah. Well, we all know that, entrepreneurs are very smart. So you don't need another course, another funnel, or another coach or mastermind. So how this is different is we really work on the internal, your internal capacity and your clarity first. That's the first pillar that we work on. And then we work on momentum and your speed decision, which that's really stalled. So that's important. And then we turn that all into revenue. And that, means with those three pillars, your launches are going better. You're charging more, you're making more money. People are showing up for your programs. They're saying yes faster.
Nice.
It all builds upon itself.
Oh, I love this because most entrepreneurs, anybody watching that's an entrepreneur, has probably spent many thousands of dollars on programs and strategies. And oftentimes they already know these things.
Yeah.
And the programs are talking about the same things, and yet nothing is happening to their revenue. It's not increasing in any way. And then that leads us to exactly what you're talking about. It's this identity and the internal shift that gets them to the next level. Okay, absolutely. So let's see here. Talk to me about the type of customization that happens when people work with you. So let's say we've got someone coming in and they've been charging lower ticket prices and they want to move into premium. Are you going to customize a strategy for them, or are these people going to be in a group program? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I work one-on-one and it is customized. It's not cookie cutter. And so you have to, like I said, you have to really work on the internal capacity. And then once we figure that out, we can work on the business, part of it.
Absolutely. Now, who does this work for? Which type of entrepreneurs? Are we doing service-based, product-based? Who do you see the fastest shifts with?
Service-based, if you're a coach, if you have any type of business, agencies, whoever feels like their business is stalled, they're stuck, like they're not showing up with confidence, they feel like something's off. And that's the thing that most entrepreneurs don't realize what the problem is.
Right.
They think it's like either their strategy, or they think, they need another coach, or they need to join another mastermind. And that's where, like I said, where my gift comes in, because once we get to the root of it all, then we can go back momentum.
So talk to me about this momentum piece, because again, a lot of entrepreneurs, they're needing to make money like yesterday. They've got bills coming in, and now they're thinking, okay, now we're talking about the reinvention method, revenue reinvention. So how fast can someone really go from not even making $10,000 months to maybe having their first $50,000 month? Is this something that you see as sequential, or are they able to leap once they use your methods? How fast?
Things can happen really fast. We take care of things and we get things done. There are shifts that can, an entrepreneur can turn things around in days, not like weeks or months. And it's really exciting, because once they really get excited to show up for their business with confidence, things shift like, and their whole audience knows it. It's like
Wow.
people can sense their different energy, and they start, saying yes faster, and
Yeah.
so it doesn't take months, like we said before.
Mhm. Now, how
Yeah.
does this work with the procrastinating entrepreneur? We all know the procrastinating entrepreneur, and at
Mhm.
some point, maybe we've all been that person.
Yeah.
The one that can't make the decisions about the content, the one that, is unsure
Mhm.
whether they should buy this or that or hire the VA. How do your methods work with them, and how does them releasing procrastination lead to increased revenue?
Well, that's the whole problem with them, right? Is that they're not making any decisions.
Mhm.
So once you help them with the clarity and the confidence, and then, once they have like true clarity on what their offer is,
Mhm.
and then they have the confidence to raise their prices, then they're not going to be procrastinating anymore about putting a program out there or launching. The
Yeah.
shift is going to change all of that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this probably also moves fast because, again, entrepreneurs, they're smart. They've got the
Mhm.
courses, the funnels, all the stuff already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things are in place to get
Right.
moving, and they
Right.
don't know why it's not moving.
Hmm.
But the key is this internal shift.
Yeah, because once you get your internal shift taken care of, they can just start working with their strategies that are already proven.
Wow.
So they can just take over with that. They don't have to like find a new strategy or find a new coach or funnel or course. They'll just take off with what they already have.
Mm. And that's what I tell a lot of people. There's no new information. So all the
Mhm.
information about businesses, strategies, your content, all of that's already online
Mhm.
somewhere.
Mhm.
And if that alone was going to work, you would already have, a multi-million-dollar business, but you don't, not because you don't have that information,
Right.
but because there's something internal that's
Right.
not dialed in. And that's the difference between the people that are successful and those that are, having up and down months, they're plateauing, these types of things.
Yeah, and a lot of times that the entrepreneurs don't realize they could have gone through a divorce,
Mhm.
or maybe they had like a relationship breakup with their business.
Right.
Their kids are off to college. And so they have like this emotional, like internal baggage or, feud that's going on. And they don't know what it is. They can't figure it out, but they know something's off.
Mm,
And once you fix that, then
there
you
you
can
go.
rebuild your momentum, and your revenue follows that. It
Wow.
all falls into place.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So your background as
Mhm.
a professional tennis player is pretty profound. So tell me, how does this tie into entrepreneurship? Why does this make you
Mhm.
a great strategist to help these entrepreneurs unlock revenue?
Well, as a tennis player, you have to have extreme confidence and really believe in yourself. And a lot of people don't believe in you, and so you just have to really have an internal, strength of like the core of believing in yourself and knowing
Right.
that you can do it, and you can rise above any obstacle that comes your way. And that translated to when I worked on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, because they really liked athletes,
Mm,
because athletes are very competitive.
right.
They're not really sensitive.
Right.
They're quick. They're decision makers. And so I think both of those really helped me um, transfer into like an entrepreneur world.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool because there's a level of precision
Hmm.
that goes with both
Right.
of those that
Yeah.
translates very well to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, you can't hesitate. You have to be a quick thinker,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
make decisions fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in your life, you have experienced profound loss,
Hmm.
right? And so, you mentioned a bit about entrepreneurs who are going through these transitions.
Hmm.
Like, how do you feel an entrepreneur that's going through divorce or children leaving the home or they're moving or they're having a business breakup or a relationship breakup? How does this affect their money?
Oh, tremendously. Their revenue stalls because they're not taking the same action. They're not showing up. the same that they were. They're not showing up with confidence. They're probably lowering their prices, because they're feeling insecure about charging that much. It really affects everything. But the problem is that most entrepreneurs, like we said, they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They just, they keep going from, well, maybe it's a strategy. Maybe I need another program. Maybe I need another funnel. So it's really important that you can't figure it out on your own. I mean, I had to get help too. So it's important to work with the right coach that's been where you've been and
Exactly.
now is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would say for the people who are watching this, we've said in 60 days in your program, everything can turn around.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the people who are in disbelief right now, who are thinking, well, I've been in these courses for 6 months and nothing's turned around. And it's because they're going to be able to take action
Right.
with your course. They're going to get clarity and then they'll be able to move forward. What would you say to anyone who is thinking, okay, this is kind of interesting. Maybe this would work for me. Anybody now who's on the fence and they're thinking, I might want to find out more. What would you tell these entrepreneurs about how fast things can shift, about why they need this versus everything else, and why now's the time?
Well, they haven't probably worked with someone who's experienced what I've experienced and then have, made a revenue comeback.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. And a lot of times, like I said, you can just continue to take course after course, but you're not going to get the results until you fix the internal problem that's going on.
Exactly.
It's if you're carrying that around with you and you're showing up with this baggage, it's never going to change. You have to resolve that. And then, like I said, money doesn't know hustle, or it knows frequency. So once you're aligned with everything flows.
Wow, that's incredible. So for anyone that wants to find out a little bit about Carol's program and wants to find a way to connect with her, we will be having a QR code placed here, and then you can check it out to be able to find out more. So Carol, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. I really enjoyed our conversation today.
Very good. On today's episode, we have two very important guests that are talking about a topic that we don't get to share as much on our show. And today we're talking about love, peace, and harmony. We've got Dr. and Master Shah, who's a global humanitarian, a medical doctor, and a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. He's the author of 31 books, of which 11 are New York Times best-selling books. He's honored at the United Nations with Martin Luther King. He's got a commemorative award for contributions to world peace. And Alexia is here with us. She's a leading teacher, spokesperson, and assistant director of Love, Peace, Harmony. So thank you for joining us today. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
Absolutely. And so let's talk for a moment, Master Shah. After decades of serving communities worldwide, what concerns do you have about humanity right now? And most importantly, what gives you a sense of hope?
According to the global statistics and from United Nations, WHO, World Bank, in Mother Earth now, 1 billion people suffer physical illness, arthritis, and back pain, all kind of condition. There are 300 million people suffer depression, 280 million people suffer anxiety. There are 700 million people in severe poverty. There are 820 million people have the lack of nutrition, so suffering so much in all aspects. So now, today, thank you so much for the interview. We are talking about the love, peace, harmony. I have received the song from Divine about 17 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible. I love how you've shifted us from the state of the world, but the fact that there can be love, peace, and harmony. So, Alexia, you had a thriving career in television and film before you stepped into your role with Love, Peace, Harmony. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you shift from telling stories and being on screen or behind the screen to building healing programs, such as what this incredible organization does?
Absolutely. Well, in 2016, I went on a trip to India. And after that experience, like my heart just completely cracked open. Because when I returned to Toronto, I realized after being there, I was volunteering in schools and I was connecting with so many people. And I was seeing like the polarity between like this disparity, like the poverty Master Shah is talking about. But at the same time, like this beautiful culture and music and the chanting. And my heart just exploded. And I was like, I don't want to just spend my life telling stories. At the time I was working in reality television. And I felt like I was lacking substance in what I was doing. And the first time I heard Master Shah singing the Love, Peace, Harmony song, I just cried because I was like, this is what the world needs. And so, you know, I really feel like that trip to India prepared me to have my heart open to receive the message of the song. And then from then on, I was so inspired by Master Shah. I was so inspired by the message of love, peace, and harmony. And I was like, I just want to change everything. And I just want to dedicate my life to just sharing this with the world. And then using those storytelling abilities, similar to what we're doing here, to share the message of love, peace, and harmony.
Well, it's a great time to share what love, peace, harmony is, what its purpose is, and how it's helping the world. Master Shah, could you enlighten those who are unfamiliar with the organization about what it does and how they can be a part of this?
I'm delighted. But before I answer your questions, I want to share with everybody how did I receive this divine song. About 17 years ago, I was in Bay Area, Redwood area, famous area, with two teachers. Weekend, walking on the park. I said, dear divine, people understand communication with heaven, conversation with God. I said, dear divine, can you give me a song for healing? The moment after request, strong energy come down in my spiritual channel. It showed the rainbow light, go through my whole body. I open the mouth, lula lula li, lula lula la li. Lula, lula, li, lula, lula, li, lula, lula, li, lula. Not the Chinese, not the English, not the German. It's just a soul language. I teach soul language. In my spiritual teaching, I teach thousands, 100,000 people worldwide, teach how to speak soul language. I know that the lula, lula, li is God's soul language. I said, dear divine, what does it mean for that? And he told me the meaning, lula, lula, li, I love my heart and soul. Lula, lula, li, I love all humanity. Lula, lula, li, lula, lula, li, lula, lula, li, lula. Join the heart and the soul together. Love, peace, harmony. Love, peace, harmony. So ask divine what this song can do. Then come to your question. Divine said, millions of people understand the sound healing, the vibration. People love the music. People love the sound. It's a vibration in physics called a field. Einstein. E equals mc squared. Energy field. This is a spiritual light field. So later at the end, I may sing for everybody. Now I sing two sentences. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. So when we sing, we give the love. We connect with the heaven. Therefore, organizations, I went to the hospital and the poor place, people, no food, no house. Any senior home, where I go, we sing love, peace, harmony. This love, this energy, this positive light will affect people for physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, relationship, finance, because everybody understands positive information and energy. This is how this divine soul song can serve the mass. We have millions of people worldwide already seen this. In India, there's one organization, they have 1 million members. The founder found this song, and he made the rules at the beginning 5 minutes, at the closing 5 minutes. Whole organization, millions of people put the CD on. We have a CD. Alexia will tell people, you can share with people. People can have free CD, my singing. They put in a national organization. They told Master Sha, we cannot thank you, Master Sha, we cannot thank you enough for this song and the people energy, loving relationship, much less emotion, very effective in the work. This one song, the field has moved the whole organization for millions of people.
Wow. Wow, that's quite a powerful story. I was going to ask you to tell us about the field that you mentioned with Love, Peace, Harmony, but I think we just felt that. So that's so incredible. Wow. And tell us a little bit about, Alexia, if you can, what is Love, Peace, Harmony doing within the communities around the United States? What are we seeing here?
Oh, yeah. So we work similar to what Master Sha had just shared. I mean, in all different areas of society, and we offer programs that empower people, their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health, using the power of the Love, Peace, Harmony field, which includes the Song of Love, Peace, and Harmony, as well as this powerful calligraphy that Master Sha is going to share more about, both of which activate this frequency and vibration that align us with the message of love, peace, and harmony, and that can bring us into that balance that's needed for our lives. So we have 10 flagship programs right now, all the way from working with children to youth empowerment programs, adults. We have a program that works specifically with frontline workers because we know the stress that they deal with. We have programs that deal with family harmony, and it's all about bringing love, peace, and harmony to 2 billion households. We know that worldwide there are so much dysfunctions at home, and when we heal our home environment, we heal the world. And we bring communities together. So it's about strengthening communities. We go into shelters, schools, hospitals. We work with governments and more. And so we use this message and we use the creative field that Master Sha has created, as well as our specialized programs. And we have volunteers around the world that offer these programs in these communities in need.
Wow. Well, this is a fantastic time for anyone watching to click the QR code that's on the screen. And the QR code is going to take you to learn a little bit more about Love, Peace, Harmony. And you could find out more about these programs there as we continue to speak. Well, I'd love to hear from Master Sha a bit about the calligraphy and how this is a part of Love, Peace, Harmony. If you could share a bit about that and share with us. We see the lovely calligraphy behind you.
Yeah, I'm delighted. There's in Toronto University, there's a professor, Li Qiuyun. United Nations honor her as Chinese top professor in language. Big name, China, Tsinghua, Beida University, like Stanford, Harvard University in the States, top university. She was the regular guest every year before she's 100 years old. After she reached 100 years old, and I met her in one chance, she has, and she shared with the public, we have a documentary, she has incontinence. So people introduced him for me, I'm the acupuncturist, I'm an MD from China. So therefore, I went to her home and I saw her calligraphy, beautiful. I said, wow. I said, I said, Li 老师, the teacher Li. I said, can I learn this? And he didn't answer. She did not answer me. She said, can I get acupuncture? I said, of course. She lies in the bed. I put one needle below her navel. I put one needle in. The electricity feeding downward in one needle. Her incontinence is solved. 1 or 2 years old woman. And by the way, people can go to social media. There are 1,000 stories of my service. I always see people's result on my report card. I do not to see just now more and more medical professionals come learn from me. Basically, I do spiritual healing. Now, love, peace, harmony is sound healing, very popular sound healing. Then I said, I want to learn. And she stood up. She's short. She put her hand here. I cannot forget that moment. She said, Tai Shi is her teacher. Her teacher transition already. Her teacher is the last emperor's teacher. In China, emperor's teacher who taught her. She was burning in a palace. She said, Tai Shi, her teacher, is the teacher of the emperor. She said, I have made a vow that I cannot share this secret writing to anybody. But now I'm more than 100 years. Dr. Shah is a doctor, is a healer, and he gave me a treatment. In one needle, I feel my incontinence disappeared. Can I ask permission? And he's doing this. She did a soul communication, spiritual. She did a spiritual communication. Then for 2 or 3 minutes, I will sit down there and try to listen. And I pray. I wish her teacher can approve. So after 2 or 3 minutes, she opened her eyes. Yes, I can teach you. I was so happy. Chinese way, she's more than 100 years old professor. Chinese way, spiritual. I'm the spiritual being. Me bong and nail to the floor. I said, I cannot honor you. And she put her hands on my crown chakra. We have the videotape. And she said, I have decided to teach you this secret art. My teacher approved. I will give my whole life wisdom in the spiritual transmission to me. Take a few minutes. Wow, my whole body vibrate. That's why I learned the sacred art. My art is a healing art. Now I can share with the public. Love, peace, harmony. The middle part is a peace. It's like this. China, ancient teaching, calligraphy, connect with the source. Everybody know Tao Te Ching. Million people know Tao Te Ching, author of Lao Tzu. Wen Dyer wrote the translation. So many country leaders, successful people study Tao Te Ching. Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu gave the concept. Tao is the ultimate creator. It's not a religion. So therefore, it's called Tao calligraphy. When I hold a brush, I connect with the Tao source. Then when I wrote it, Tao source put the invisible light. For example, everybody relax, do like this. You can put a hand like this because we received a great interview. You put a hand like this, face the calligraphy, just like this, relax. Choose one part of the body. Some people knee pain, some people shoulder, some people heart, not a piece. This is a piece. I just trace it 2 times. Chinese call relax is a portal. When you do like this, there's an invisible light, spiritual light connect with the source. High level spiritual being from heaven, and to help us. Ping means peace. 平安 is peace, 2 words. We have I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join heart and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. We have in the lovepeaceharmony.org, you just now show the connection. I have this song is freely shared with humanity. Just now Taylor said, Basically, for example, people are pain, inflammation, tumor, even are very serious conditions. We have thousands of heart-touching stories. How does it work? So simple. See the studio, the light. You switch off, dark already. Morning, rising sun, light up the dark night. So this is spiritual light. People have not realized what I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. When you chant with me, the spiritual light wash out the blockages. There's not a metaphysical body, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, relationship, finances. We have some dark, gray, blocked area. Washed out. That's the way how it works. That's the way how it works.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. I was going to say again, how can we share more? And I think everybody's feeling this all over the place now. This is fantastic. So, Alexia, can you share with us a story of where Love, Peace, Harmony has really impacted a community or group of people from the donations and money it receives? Obviously, it's a nonprofit. So let us learn a little bit about what this looks like and what the impact in the communities is.
Absolutely. Well, first, we have thousands of stories of different communities all around the world. And really, we're focused in the United States at this moment. And one of the stories I'd like to share with you today is from an after-school care program in Atlanta, Georgia. And this year marks our 10th-year anniversary working with them, and they've been integrating the Love, Peace, Harmony practices, the calligraphy, the song, and also the philosophy and values of Love, Peace, and Harmony into their program. And they have seen extraordinary results, especially with the children, but not only with the children, with all of the workers and with the families of the children. So a lot of the children in these after-school care programs, they come from challenging backgrounds, low-income neighborhoods. There could be trauma and violence, behavioral issues. They have a lot of children that have autism, they're on the spectrum. And so there are serious challenges in the day-to-day. And by using the Love, Peace, Harmony song, and even by using the calligraphy tracing, they've created different parts of their program where they actually empower the children to self-regulate, to heal their emotions, to heal their behavior, to allow them to feel balanced, to feel calm, to feel harmonious throughout the day. And they have seen such a significant decline in the behavioral outbursts of the children. They've seen more harmony, everybody working together. And it has actually had an impact where even the families are saying, what have you been doing with my kid? Because they are so much more calm at home. They are not having as many temper tantrums. You know, they're relaxed. Like, tell me what is going on. So it has had this ripple impact. And not only that, but we have seen in a lot of these neighborhoods, these generational trauma that's passed on. And what this program is helping to do is actually heal that generational trauma so that actually these children can move forward and flourish. So children that were previously receiving detention and being reprimanded for behavioral outbursts are actually being treated with unconditional love. And they are having an opportunity to transform themselves and to learn. And by using this program, we've seen kids able to graduate, go to high school, actually even go on to university. And some who've graduated the program have actually returned to mentor another generation of children. So we're seeing the sustainable and long-term positive impact of using Love, Peace, and Harmony for the children, for the families, for the workers, and for the whole community.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. And as mother myself, I can tell you that, you know, it really does start with the children. So great work that Love, Peace, Harmony is doing. Now, in order to keep your organization sustained, What are some of the milestones that you're looking to achieve in this coming year in terms of donations? And tell us a little bit about that, and how do the donations, work? Tell us how impactful the different amounts are, if you can.
Absolutely. Well, the donations are critical. We need the support to be able to move forward. Master Sha has an amazing quote. It's one of my favorite quotes of another teaching that he has called the 10 Da, and it's for flourishing. And so what he says is the flourishing is more resources to serve. So the more resources that we have, the more people that we can serve, the more programs that we can share around the world, and the more lives, just like what I shared with you, we can positively impact. So the donations are absolutely vital for the sustainability of love, peace, and harmony. And so we deeply appreciate all of our donors. One of our major and very simple and accessible callings right now for everyone watching is to simply join our monthly membership. So we have created a monthly membership that's $35 a month. And what this does is it actually allows you to become a part of the Love, Peace, Harmony global family. And you have an opportunity to be with Master Sha each and every month, to have amazing updates on what is happening with our programs worldwide, where your funds are going to, the impact that they're creating, and also for yourself to actually receive the power of the Love, Peace, Harmony field, experience practices and meditations, and access our online membership portal. So we always want to be giving back to our donors as well as the amazing communities that we serve. And additionally, the QR code will take you direct to our donate page, where we welcome donations of any amount that go directly to our programming. And this is programming that, as I mentioned, impacts every stage of life. So we work in the senior care homes, within hospitals, we work with governments. One other example I would love to share with you is many of us are aware of the fires that happened in Maui in Hawaii a few years back. And so we work very closely with the mayor in Maui, and there are 11,000 families that actually lost their homes that are being rehomed. And so we are working very diligently on the ground to bring healing from this traumatic event, and to also work in a culturally appropriate way with the Hawaiian indigenous community as well as the mayor to actually bring love, peace, and harmony to each and every household in Maui. And this is just one example. We also collaborate in Los Angeles and in other areas around the world where we have smaller scale programs such as the after-school care program that I mentioned to you in Atlanta, as well as much larger scale programs, even in harmony with the government, so that we can bring love, peace, and harmony to the 2 billion households worldwide. That is our goal, as quickly as possible.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, can you share with us, Master Sha, any last words for people who felt the field and all that you shared with us, who are wanting to get more involved in love, peace, harmony? Please share any parting thoughts.
Thank you so much. We all have love. We see the sufferings for humanity. My heart, three of us here, we call you to give your little donation to us. I'm so grateful. I want to share with the public. Some people saw my love and heart. We have some people donate huge amount of money every year, but we are asking $35. If you can give us, support us, but some people give us $1 million. I want to. It does not matter. Even you give me even you give us $35, we are so happy. We appreciate it. Like that, like a children's hospital in Toronto and a fire in Los Angeles, every major disaster we serve, we call humanity. If every household sing love, peace, harmony, the field can make a huge difference in Mother Earth. So therefore, download the soul song, become the member. Every month I will sing, like Alexia shared, we're going to sing, we're going to update everybody and offer I will, as a healer servant, I will offer major healing for the members. Let us join the heart and soul together to move love, peace, harmony, to serve humanity, Mother Earth's special time. Taylor, thank you so much. Alexia, thank you so much. Thank you all the listeners. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Master Shah and Alexia. Thank you so much.